Ever wondered if that plastic bottle in your hand is destined for more than just the trash bin? It's a thought that crosses our minds as we juggle the dilemma of what to do with our daily waste. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the world of recycling, a concept that's as intriguing as it is contentious. Our everyday actions, from sipping coffee from a disposable cup to discarding packaging material, have a direct impact on the environment. But can recycling really help mitigate this? Is it the answer to our escalating waste problem, or just a feel-good myth that's been sold to us? It's a debate that's been raging on for years, with compelling arguments on both sides. Recycling, in essence, is a journey of transformation from waste to resource. But like every journey, it has its fair share of bumps and turns. So let's dive into the world of recycling, its benefits and drawbacks. The majority of us associate recycling with a greener, more sustainable planet, but why is that? Well, let's unravel this green thread, shall we? Recycling is an integral part of waste management. It's the process of turning waste materials into new products, which can then be used again. This helps to reduce the amount of waste that ends up in landfills. Now imagine a world where every piece of plastic, every scrap of paper, and every bit of metal is recycled. That would mean fewer landfills, less pollution, and less strain on our planet's ecosystems. Moreover, recycling helps us conserve our natural resources. When we recycle, we are effectively reusing the materials that we already have, rather than extracting new ones. For example, recycling just 1 ton of paper can save 17 mature trees, 79 gallons of oil, and nearly 7,000 gallons of water. That's a lot of resources saved. But it's not just about conservation. Recycling also helps us save energy. It takes less energy to process recycled materials than it does to extract and process new materials. For instance, recycling aluminium cans uses 95% less energy than producing new ones from raw materials. And let's not forget about pollution. Manufacturing products from raw materials often involves processes that release harmful emissions into the atmosphere. Recycling, on the other hand, results in significantly lower carbon emissions. So when we recycle, we're not just putting our waste to good use. We're also helping to conserve our planet's resources, save energy, and reduce pollution. It's like killing 3 birds with 1 stone, only in this case, we're saving the birds, not killing them. To sum it all up, recycling is a powerful tool in our fight against environmental degradation. It's a way for us to take responsibility for our waste and turn it into something useful. Clearly, recycling has a significant role to play in protecting our environment. But is it all rosy? Well, let's dive into the darker shades of recycling in the next scene, shall we? As with any coin, recycling has another side that often remains hidden. Let's delve into the darker shades of recycling. It may surprise you to know that recycling isn't all rainbows and butterflies. There are certain drawbacks that we need to consider. Firstly, the cost. It's a common misconception that recycling is always a money saver. The reality is, recycling can be an expensive endeavor. Processing and transforming waste materials back into usable products requires a significant amount of energy and resources. These costs can be so high that in some cases, it's actually cheaper to create new products from raw materials rather than recycle existing ones. Additionally, recycling is not always the clean, earth-friendly process we imagine it to be. It can generate its own share of pollution. Think about it. Recycling plants require energy to operate, often derived from fossil fuels. This energy use results in greenhouse gas emissions, contributing to climate change. The recycling process can also lead to water and soil pollution, especially when dealing with materials like plastics and metals that contain harmful chemicals. And then there's the issue of efficiency. Not everything we throw in the recycling bin ends up being successfully recycled. Some materials, like certain types of plastic, are notoriously difficult to recycle. They can contaminate other recyclables, reducing the overall efficiency of the recycling process. Furthermore, not all waste can be recycled. For instance, broken glass and certain types of plastic are often rejected by recycling facilities. This means that despite our best efforts, a significant amount of waste still ends up in our landfills. These challenges are not meant to discourage recycling, but rather to highlight that it isn't a magic bullet for our waste problems. It's a tool, and like any tool, it has its limitations and requires proper use to be effective. It seems recycling is a more complex issue than it first appears, so where does this leave us? After weighing the pros and cons, it's time to answer the million-dollar question: should we recycle? Let's take a step back and consider the key points we've discussed. We've explored the bright green side of recycling, how it reduces the demand for raw materials, thus preserving our natural resources, how it saves energy, as manufacturing goods from recycled materials requires less energy than producing goods from brand new materials. And let's not forget, it reduces landfill waste and helps in reducing air and water pollution. However, we also delved into the darker shades of recycling. It's not a magic bullet. It can be costly, not just in monetary terms, but also in terms of energy. And sometimes it can lead to pollution if not properly managed. But despite these drawbacks, the question we should ask ourselves is, can we afford not to recycle? The answer is a resounding no. The Earth's resources are finite. The more we take without giving back, the faster we'll run out. We can't continue to turn a blind eye to the environmental damage caused by our throwaway culture. We need to take responsibility for the waste we create, and recycling is a significant part of that. Yes, recycling has its challenges, but it's a hurdle we must leap over. The benefits far outweigh the negatives. It's a necessary practice for a sustainable future. It's not just about us, but about the generations that will come after us. We owe it to them to leave a world that's as good as, if not better than, the one we inherited. Remember, every bottle, every can, every piece of paper you recycle can make a difference. Start today, because a greener future is in our hands.